The Indiana Fever acquired the 6'1" guard via a four-team trade at the end of January. Speaking with the media at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis last week, Cunningham expressed her excitement about becoming teammates with Caitlin Clark. "She has changed our game in the best possible way in every way," Cunningham said. "So just to be alongside of her and maybe relieve the pressure, being able to shoot and spread the court for her to go do her thing." Cunningham spent 6 seasons with the Phoenix Mercury, where she was mentored by now retired WNBA legend Diana Taurasi. Now, she wants to help the reigning WNBA Rookie of the Year in whatever way she can, even if that means being Clark's enforcer after some of the league's veterans tried to push her around last year. "Anything she needs from me, I'm going to be here. But again, I think that just the competitor that I am, I'm fierce, I'm sassy. I stick up for my teammates, stick up for myself," she added. "Sometimes I think that it's okay to be feisty and to be yourself." Despite a dismal 3-10 beginning to last season, the Fever finished their 2024 campaign with a 20-20 record and made the playoffs for the first time since 2016. Indiana made several moves this offseason, including hiring a new head coach and general manager. The franchise also signed former WNBA champions Dewanna Bonner and Natasha Howard to the roster. "I'm so excited. Like, when I say that, I am refreshed and I am motivated and I just kind of feel like my spark is back," Cunningham said. "Everyone thinks I've been feisty. You've not even seen the feisty side of me yet, so this should be really fun. But for me, I'm excited to be closer to home. I'm excited to deep dive into the community of Indiana. I'm excited to inspire the next generation of young boys and girls around here. Get to know the community more." Cunningham said she's ready to help the team take that next step toward a championship. "I promise you that I'm just ready to win," Cunningham added. "I'm ready to win. I'm ready for y'all to be there. But like I said, you guys haven't even seen feisty yet." And did she mention she's feisty? As soon as she was drafted by the Indiana Fever last April, Caitlin Clark brought championship-level hype to a place widely known as being a basketball hotbed. Clark's first season with the Fever did not disappoint. After a slow start, Clark led the previously moribund franchise to the playoffs, and a strengthened roster around her wants to reach the WNBA Finals in 2025. Clark's impact on women's basketball as a whole has been immense. She has been credited with transforming perceptions of the sport and sparking newfound interest in the WNBA as well as NCAA women's basketball. Nowhere can that impact be felt more deeply than in Indianapolis, which is in thrall of Clark's limitless range and decisive passing ability. Clark, whose NFL fandom and love for the Kansas City Chiefs are both well known by this point, has even won over her adopted city's football team. In a social media post honoring 317 Day in Indianapolis, referencing the area code that encompasses the city, the NFL's Colts shouted out "Naptown," a nickname for Indy, with a graphic showing Clark, running back Jonathan Taylor, and Indiana Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton displaying the high esteem with which Clark is held already. In her debut season, Clark won Rookie of the Year honors after averaging better than 19 points and 8 assists per game, though she struggled with her shooting efficiency and, especially early on, with the physicality of the WNBA. However, Clark has grown noticeably more muscular during the offseason in preparation to deal with the holding and grabbing from opponents as she tries to vault into the MVP conversation in 2025 while elevating the Fever into a true title contender. Caitlin Clark is arguably the biggest star in the WNBA, and on Monday, the Indianapolis Colts made sure to recognize her growing impact on the city. The Colts posted a graphic on social media featuring Clark, Indiana Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton, and Colts running back Jonathan Taylor. The design placed Taylor in the center, with Clark to his left and Halliburton to his right. Prominently displayed was the Indianapolis area code 317, with the 1 incorporating the Lady Victory statue, a symbol of the city. The Colts captioned the post with just 2 words: "Shout out Naptown." Clark, who plays for the Indiana Fever, is set to begin her second WNBA season soon. In her rookie campaign, she averaged 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game, leading the league in assists. She was named WNBA Rookie of the Year, a unanimous AP Rookie of the Year selection, and an All-WNBA First-Team honoree. She also became the first rookie in WNBA history to record 2 triple-doubles in a season and set the Fever's single-season rookie assist record with 337. Clark set additional franchise marks for most point-assist double-doubles in a season, 4, and became the first rookie in league history to log at least 15 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds in 10 different games. The Colts' social media tribute further showcased the growing connection between Clark and the city. With Halliburton emerging as a superstar for the Pacers and Taylor remaining a cornerstone for the Colts, Indianapolis has become home to some of the most exciting young talent in professional sports. As Clark prepares for her second WNBA season, the excitement surrounding her only continues to grow. The wild WNBA offseason saw yet another major move with the New York Liberty trading for Natasha Cloud from the Connecticut Sun on Sunday. And with that, the defending champs thrust themselves into a strong position to repeat. However, hoisting the trophy again will not be an easy task, considering other squads stacked up as well. Most notably, the Indiana Fever. Those two teams in particular emerged from the free agency period with the most formidable rosters on paper. Of course, there were many other notable transactions. The Los Angeles Sparks put themselves on the map by acquiring Kelsey Plum with the first major move that shook things up. And the Phoenix Mercury rebuilt on the fly after Diana Taurasi retired and Brittany Griner headed to the Atlanta Dream. Yet, as far as contenders go, the Fever and Liberty stand out. The Las Vegas Aces did add Jewel Lloyd, but that was essentially a one-for-one swap with Plum. And the Aces will have to prove they adequately replenished all their departing depth. While it would be foolish to dismiss a motivated Minnesota Lynx team, Cheryl Reeves' squad made mostly under-the-radar Rosti in contrast. The Liberty returned the core of what was already basically a super team. New York boasts a lineup consisting of 2024 Finals MVP Jonquel Jones, 2x WNBA MVP Brianna Stewart, and superstar Sabrina Ionescu, along with high-end support from the likes of Leonie Fibich and Betnijah Laney Hamilton. In adding Cloud, they avoid any fall-off from the loss of veteran Courtney Vandersloot, who left for the Chicago Sky, and are chock full of length and defensive versatility. Cloud also provides the team the option to play Ionescu off-ball to give teams different looks. Our tweaks. Meanwhile, much has been made of the way the Fever stocked up this offseason. The Fever enter Caitlin Clark's second season with 5 of the top 30 scorers in the WNBA last year as their likely starting lineup. Not to mention that Indiana upgraded its size, depth, shooting, defense, toughness, and experience. The additions of Natasha Howard, Dewanna Bonner, and Sophie Cunningham in particular should pay huge dividends. And that's with what's sure to be an improvement from Clark, who was already the most prolific offensive guard in the league. Plus, bucket getter Kelsey Mitchell and the always solid Aaliyah Boston are still in tow. Games and championships are won on the floor and not on paper. So it is far from a guarantee that either the Fever or the Liberty will be the last team standing at the end of the 2025 season. But those two squads do stand out above the rest of the WNBA as the most star-studded possible matchup following an eventful offseason. The first-ever Unrivaled championship will be played on Monday night between the Vinyl Basketball Club, BC, and Rose, BC. And Caitlin Clark has 2 of her Indiana Fever teammates going at it. Forward Aaliyah Boston helped Vinyl BC to a 5-9 record in the inaugural season of the 3-on-3 league. After just squeaking into the playoffs, she saw 7 minutes of action in their upset win over the 13-1 Lunar Owls BC. Moving on to the Cham guard Lexi Hull, on the other hand, helped Rose BC to an 8-6 record, the second best in the league. She saw her team take down Clark's good friend Kate Martin, and her losses BC thanks to a 39-point outburst from Chelsea Gray. Championship game. On Monday afternoon, just hours before the championship game, the Fever made a post on Instagram highlighting their 2 standouts facing each other. They used a photo of Hull and Boston in their Indiana jerseys. Although Clark, Boston, and Hull will all be returning to the Fever for the 2025 WNBA season, the team may feel a lot different. Indiana replaced coach Christy Sides with Stephanie White while bringing in numerous players who could play key roles, including Dewanna Bonner and Sophie Cunningham.